Hello, hi, this is Christine Black Crowell and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how do you network at an event. You click register for this wonderful event that you want to attend so that you can look at meeting individuals that can actually give you work. That's really important. Looking at what event type that you're going to go to, that's really important. So what do? I'm going to delve into this now. Well, first of all, you find out who's going to be at the event. Is it going to be NHS Integrated Care Board's events? Those are really good to go to, for example. Or is it an NHS event? Or is it a government organisation that is looking for you to work with them? So it's a procurement event. So what type of event are you going to? Then you got to look at who's going to be there. Who is it that you want to do business with? You need to research that beforehand so that you've got a list of people that you are being strategic with, so that when you go there, you know who they are, what they do, how they can help you, and most importantly, where can you see them? How can you find them at the event? So I'm going to go more into that now. So once you've got into the event, you've got your ID card, stand around the entrance to begin with as people are coming in so that you can have an eye shot of the person that you've done your research from. So if you see an Integrated Care Board's staff member, for example, the person that you want to work with, introduce yourself to, then you need to be right at the front as they're coming in. So try and arrive early to make sure that you can see them come in to the event. Now, I'm not saying pounce straight away. Just observe. When they come in, you smile and say, good day. And then you can leave it at that if you feel that's as far as you want to go. So it all depends how you're going to go about approaching. So I'm going to use some of my skills and tactics that I used to use. Then I would wait for the person to sit down. Usually it's in a room. I would wait to see all the key people, to see where they are seated. And then what I would start to do is I would then go and sit next to or near by either front, side or behind, for example, the person that I want to look at doing business with. That way you can listen to any conversations or even be a part of that conversation if you're sat at the side of them, like left or right, for example. I've done this on many occasions. I've had a notebook. You take a notebook with you, you make sure you've got a briefcase so that you've got your presentation packs to hand out at the event as well. So imagine you're sitting next to the person that you want to do business with. You sit down and you smile again and you say good morning or good afternoon. And you can introduce yourself at that point. Handshake. Hello, my name is Christine. And you can then say, what's brought you here today? Why are you here? For example. But if there is a speaker talking, which usually there is, then you need to make sure that you're paying attention to the speaker in front of you. And listen to what they have to say, because this is an important part for you to learn how to do business with a particular organisation. So that speaker could be from the organisation that you want to do work with. So listen to what they have to say. Do not overtalk the speaker when they are speaking, otherwise it will be seen as rude. Make sure that your mobile phones are on silent. so that it doesn't disturb the room. Nothing worse than someone's mobile phone going off and then someone's having a conversation whilst you're trying to listen to the speaker in front of you. So be mindful of that. So you're listening to what the speaker has got to say, you're making notes, for example, and then the person that you want to do business with, see whether you can strike up a conversation with them during break times or before the next session begins. Explain to them what it is you do and that you've come here to get more insight, more learning into how you can work with organizations, how you can benefit one another. Now, during the break time, maybe it'll be time for you to have a coffee, a cup of tea. Then you will go to that section where they are doing the teas and coffee. Bearing in mind, you've got your people that you want to speak to, organizations that you want to speak to. So always be mindful of who they are and where they're positioned in the room. Because you need to use a moment in time to go up and approach and introduce yourself and what it is that you do and what you specialize in and how best you can help serve what the need is currently at the moment. So what is the trend at the moment? It could be a new regulation. Do research on that so that you're abreast, you know what's going on, and you can communicate effectively in conversations. Now you may see a group of people standing, talking to the person that you want to speak to. So how do you approach that person? You gauge, you look from a distance and observe. Is there a space in that group where you can fit in to that space, or is it closed where there's no room for you to actually fit? So you have to gauge and wait and be patient. So when someone steps back, that is now allowing you room to go in and stand and introduce yourself to the group. Join in the conversation, not just for talking. Make sure that the conversation that you join into is going to flow and that you're not interrupting what someone is saying. Listen, wait for pauses, then you can join in the conversation and say, hey, you know, that speaker was absolutely brilliant. I like the way that they said this. It really got me thinking. How did you think about that? Encourage conversation back to you. Another thing that you shouldn't do when you're at one of these events is you don't eat food, because nothing worse than someone standing there and they're eating a sandwich and you're trying to talk in a group, for example. You're not going to be able to talk because you're eating your food, right? Or you may drop a piece of your food out of your mouth, and you know, you don't want to put people off unnecessarily. You want to use your mouth to get business for. Eat before you go so that you're full. You haven't got to worry about, oh, I'm hungry, or my tummy rumbling, for example. But it's okay to have tea and coffee and have a conversation because we're all adults here. So that's another point, is looking at the people that you want to speak with. So say, for example, you've chosen 4 people, 4 key people that you want to speak to. So then you've spoken to one, you then go to the next person who could be, they could be sitting down having a meal because they're busy. So do wait until they're finished, unless you want to sit down next to them and have your tea and coffee and drink it whilst they're having their meal, and then try and gauge the time to approach them, to talk to them about what do they do. And you say, hi, my name's Christine, what do you do? Did you enjoy that talk earlier? So remember that there will be different speakers at the event, and listen to each one of them. They will be timed at different times. Sometimes it can be at the same time, so that can be a bit tricky. So you want to look at when the next talk is and then be there at that time, but stand up to begin with, see where your key person is going to sit, then you sit next to them. And you start the process all over again. Now always think about what your grammar is, always think about having good listening skills, always think about your impression that you're leaving on the person that you want to engage with. Make sure that you're smartly dressed. Don't go in jeans. Wear something smart, casual, perhaps a dress or a skirt, blouse, or trousers. If you're a man, wear trousers and a shirt, for example. You don't have to be, in a suit with a tie. Don't make yourself look too stuffy. Gauge the event that you're going to. What does it say? Smart dress or smart casual, for example. Always have an idea of who it is that you want to speak to at the event. Have a list of 4 people, because they're the ones that are going to give you work. You don't want to go to an event just to talk to anybody. You've got to be strategic. If you're at an event and there's stands, exhibition stands, go to them, because you may see one of the people that you want to talk to at an exhibition stand, for example. If it is a procurement stand, go over to the procurement stand, get all the information that you can, but also at the same time, ask them when the dates are for you to apply for contracts, and introduce yourself. Tell them what it is that you do. Ask them, what is the need right now that you can help meet them? Is there a specialist need that is lacking with other agencies, for example? I really want you to think carefully and be strategic in how you approach the event when you go to this, because there's nothing worse than going there and you've wasted your time and it's not going to benefit you. It's always good to go to an event if it's going to benefit your organization, because you will end up spending the whole day, and if you haven't been strategic, then you could miss that opportunity, because those persons that you want to speak to may leave after the speaker that they've come to listen to, or they may leave at lunchtime. So you've got to be really strategic. Sometimes people come after lunchtime because it depends on the speaker itself. So if your person that you want to speak to isn't there currently at the moment, they could be there in the afternoon due to their time constraints. So be patient, have a list of those that you want to speak to, whether they are attendees or whether they are speakers, and remember to use your skills in networking. You go there, you gauge the room, you don't just go up to any group, it has to be strategic. And yes, sometimes when you walk into an event, it's very nerve-wracking, because you're like, I'm the only person here. Wow, okay. It's only me. I've got no one to talk to. You've got your list of people that you want to talk to. That's who you're talking to. So I hope that you found this very helpful. Do like and subscribe. Share. Join our Facebook group. And click to book a free 15-minute consultation call to discuss with our team how we can best serve you to help you with your networking skills, for example. Or maybe you want help with growing and scaling your business right now. So thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Like I said, smash that button, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.